Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome back to Control. We are here today to begin the second DLC, entitled AWE. But before we do that, I just want to talk about expectations real quick. First of all, as far as I'm aware, this is the end for Control. I do not know of any future content plan, and I believe it is the case that after this, we will not hear any more from this universe until Remedy's next game. That said, I'm not expecting any kind of grand conclusion here to the story of Jesse and the Hiss and the Bureau, given what we know of Remedy's narrative style at this point, what we've learned over the past couple of years. This will probably be an interesting story that asks more questions than it answers. They like to leave a lot of balls in the air. They like to leave a lot of things in play. Secondly, when the teaser image for this DLC was released, way back when the game came out, it took people on the internet about 10 minutes to realize that that image contained part of the cover art for Alan Wake. This is definitely an Alan Wake-themed story. If you are not familiar with Alan Wake, say because it is an entire decade old and you were a small child when it came out, don't worry, we've got you covered. There's a series right here on this channel of me playing through that game blind in preparation for this very thing, and there'll be a link to that in the video description. I don't know exactly how much you need to know about Alan Wake to understand what's going to go on here. My guess is you probably don't have to be exhaustively familiar. They'll probably let us know what we need to know, but context makes everything feel a little bit more important. I bet it will feel different if you are aware of what's going on in Alan Wake's life prior to this. And with that, I think we're ready to just go. When I jumped in here, this was the quest that was selected, the mission that was selected to investigate the sector elevator, and the name, A Dark Place, suggests to me that this will be the thing. Yep.
There was something there, reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh?
Alan never was terribly subtle. Yeah, sure. Investigation sector. That's a place that... We've never been there before, have we? Boy, I bet there's going to be some interesting stuff down there. So obviously, it probably goes without saying, but just so that I have said it, 100% spoilers for Alan Wake. I am not going to restrain myself from talking about anything, and I'm sure just the plot of this will spoil a bunch of Alan Wake. Now that we've said that, the end of Alan Wake the end of American Nightmare was quite vague, right? Oh, I don't love this. I wish I had a flashlight. Okay, nope, everything's fine, it turns out. The lights in here totally work. We know that Alan got back to the real world, but we don't have any idea how long he was under, right?
Anyone here? Guess not.
Nor, I think, do we know exactly what happened in the real world while he was gone. We saw the footage of Scratch, killing people in a hotel room, but we don't even know if that was real or if it was just something that Scratch put together for the purposes of the nightmare. So, really, we don't have any idea what happened past about the middle of the ending chapter of Alan Wake.
And the rest of the Bureau.
Crowded. Crowded in what sense? What are we talking about here?
It's not working.
What a surprise.
Power core somewhere.
What is this that I'm even seeing on the wall? I really need a flashlight. A resignation letter. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's everything. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our deeply incompetent boss, who has routinely ignored my request for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the creepy shit loose inside. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that firebreak. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The everybody has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. I don't think William Kirkland has much respect for the boss. Is there a hotline thing we didn't see? Oh, I mean...
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint. Reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss. So it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away. And made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man. A man desperate to escape. She sensed something else, too. A hunger in the dark. Not unlike the hostile resonance. Waiting. She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
God, Alan is such a hack. I'm not gonna lie though, it's nice to see him again. You know, first of all, I think it's very funny that they made him a Hunt and Peck typist. How many books has he written? But also, his power doesn't work here, right? Like him saying that thing about the button that we've never noticed before. His thing only worked because of the thing. His whole deal only worked because of the thing in the lake, right? I have concerns. Mr. Kirkland, here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead from the containment breach yesterday. So this is dated 2 years before the one that we just read. None of these names look familiar to me. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. Interesting. You know what? Hold on. Before we get going again, I just want to check. Dialogue volume is all the way maxed. Okay. I'll fiddle with the audio mix a little bit. I'll bring up the stuff outside of the game, because I want the dialogue to be even louder than that, and I cannot do it easily from here. The Darling investigation. Official findings report regarding Dr. Casper Darling. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling. Despite the accounts of anonymous weirdness regarding inhumane treatment of I hesitate to even guess, currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of, I'm going to guess, research sector personnel seem to be wholly unaware of any such presences contained there. One confirmed the thing's code name to be, whatever code names are. But all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the research wing to interview its staff. What would be the word before research there? The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into whatever that is research. Did we... I guess no, we totally had names. I was going to say, I thought it was just the research wing. But no, there were totally, like, there was a luck research subwing, and yeah, so we don't know exactly what they were researching in this part of it. Unfortunately, I'm a little rusty on some of the elements of the plot. A request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake. Per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement, I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. But I'm writing to let you know we've received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. That extremely can't be right. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing a name with the most famous character Wake wrote is looking into a case dealing with a writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Okay, so Casey wrote himself out of existence, right? Even if he had been an FBI agent prior to becoming a writer, which he might have been, I don't remember if that's a thing that we know or not, there can't possibly be... I mean, also, it's probably not that uncommon of a name. There's probably a lot of Alex Caseys in the world. So maybe it's all just a wacky coincidence. Because that's how things happen in this universe, right? Just all wacky coincidences. It happened again. Third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our agents. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough. But why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? It doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on this spooky witch in the lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this shit hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. So, I don't know... Obviously, the Bureau as a whole has some idea what happened at Cauldron Lake, but it's hard to know exactly how classified anything was and what... It seems like everybody here didn't trust everybody else, so... Hard to know what anybody would be told about anything. So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost in the Hartman thing, and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is gonna sound paradoxical, we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. It better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Mr. Dennis. Okay. So when he and Jesse say crowded, they just mean there's a lot of garbage jammed into this room, a lot of furniture and stuff. We're getting a reading on something through the wall up there. What weapons do I have? Okay. This is the shotgun, right? We'll keep this one handy. Underhill. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist, stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to para-criminal organizations, or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. I'm kind of surprised people are allowed to leave the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. You know, you gotta keep that kind of stuff on file. It's very important to the work we do here. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Weird that would be here. That this report would be in this place. Can I not jump over this cubicle wall, really? Alright, who's ready for more loot we don't need? A shaded facet. Okay, I think that's a new currency. That'll be the currency of this area. Is this an astronaut helmet? Huh. A certificate of achievement that is just blank. For years of service to the Bureau. I'm not just hearing that was a real sound that actually happened, right? This whole place makes me paranoid. Kirkland, I am growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm through time. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You're both failures, plotting against me. You're traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Yep, so this is, Trench's later days when things were going super well inside of his head. That said, even though, he's a very powerful man and everything, I feel like the lack of professionalism right here there should have been some demerits of people, I don't know, a vote of no confidence, something. I guess he's the magic man. Whoever has the service weapon is the boss, right? Regardless of how you feel about his conduct. An official findings report about someone we're not allowed to know about. Internal investigations. Investigation was launched into the behavior of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in everything witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive shouting when, anything happens, with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. A notable conflict between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing. Maybe that's the thing that was redacted in the other letter. And the whatever it is that is kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench's treason as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench's behavior is not indicative of any possession, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Well, that was not a very good investigation, then, in my opinion. I thought I'd be able to just go right through. Hold on. How do you... There it is. I remember the controls. Sorry if I jump scared anyone. If I'm being honest, I jump scared myself a little bit, so... And I knew I was going to fire the gun. A burrow tractor. Miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Male Caucasian, 33-year-old man found dead on his property, per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Okay, those sound like remains, all right. Autopsy finding blunt force injuries to the head and the extremities, lacerations on the left ear and cheek, dislocation of the right knee, complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. That's not a thing that you really want to be avulsed. Extensive trauma, abdominal region, complete avulsion of multiple organs including stomach, heart, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and portions of the large and small intestine. And they're all missing. We didn't find them. Conclusion, it is my opinion that Mr. Burroughs' death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by the authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Well, or an industrial accident with a real big vacuum cleaner. Alright, Out of the way. This filing cabinet is apparently too big for me to move to the side. That's fine, we'll just go around it. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it's possible they've switched teams, like you suspected. But I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. It reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the file correctly. This is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. It could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off, and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. I'm trying to think. Is that a thing that we saw during Alan Wake at all? I don't remember. Alright, so we have a power outlet here. Oh, do they want me to move the thing from downstairs, and thus create a great deal of darkness until we make it up here safely? Polaris is definitely very focused on this thing. The Burrow Tractor. Here we go. This is the proper file. Description: a Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. It's a haunted tractor. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath the tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff, and a team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by, quote, growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. I guess that makes sense. Nobody brought with them handcuffs that would fit a tractor. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they are. She's in cahoots with that tractor. They're probably just waiting for the heat to die down a little bit, and then they're going to run away together. And let me tell you something. She has handcuffs that'll fit. Per authorization for Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate program. Boy, legality in what sense? Is anything we do here strictly legal? Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic, just everything bad, and also worse. Subjects were brought into the oldest house and placed under private examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases, and only resulted in the traumatic... it's real bad. I don't know what's under these redactions, but it's all real bad. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human decency. The investigation team unequivocally condemns the Prime Candidate program and recommends that it be terminated immediately. They probably would also terminate, the candidates in that case, so I guess I'm glad they didn't listen to this. Alright. Let's make sure that we really clear this out. I don't want anything in the way. Okay, I'm not looking forward to this. Oh, actually, can I even grab this? No, it won't lift. Oh no, it's got the outline. It's just very faint. Okay, how far away can I grab it from? Because I want to do as little running as possible here. Oh, that didn't turn the lights off at all, actually. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just kind of pressing buttons all over my mouse there.
There. Now that gate
Okay. I really thought that was going to be a little bit more of a sort of a spooky thing. I guess we're still in tutorial mode here. Hooray, more reading. The purpose of internal investigation X0397 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of probably too many agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes on the specimen from the internal network. Specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive, that basically must be behavior, right? Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Wake entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Yeah, why are civilians being allowed into the thing at all? Alan Wake's wife was named Alice, right? Oh boy, now I don't feel confident of that at all. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it's likely that Mrs. Wake's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape. Was it Alice? I have a vague memory of him shouting Alice a lot. It's probably Alice. You know, my memory is sketchy. Let's be polite to me and say sketchy. Alright, well this was one of the non-traumatic claims. It looks like we didn't have to try very hard.
But something definitely happened here.
Alright, well we're not doing that just yet. I have a feeling I know what's going to happen. We did find a page that was written by Alan Wake in the Oceanview one time, didn't we? I'm reasonably sure. The Blessed Organization. This group/individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. That's a little tenuous, I gotta say. I mean, I know it's the same word, but it's also not that uncommon of a word.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
You know, just normal novelist stuff.
Who are you? Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom. Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom. The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role. A character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink.
Hold still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. We found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen
Yeah.
him.
Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
Yeah, thank you for catching us up, Jesse. All right, two things.
Zane was with him. The poet.
She's very rude. She waits for me to start talking and then jumps in.
I always remember that wrong.
The thing she's saying is very interesting. However, first of all, I recognize now that I heard Thomas Zane's name again that I was talking about Thomas Zane earlier when Alex Casey was mentioned, because Alex Casey is a totally fictional character as opposed to Thomas Zane, who's definitely a real filmmaker. I mean, author. No, wait, I mean filmmaker. And secondly, I loved that sequence. That was so good. You know what's great? Alan Wake with facial animation that works even a tiny little bit. I'm very excited for where this is headed. So, wait, is there a door in the Oceanview that has that circles with a dot? Yes, there is. I mean, obviously they want me to touch this door. I mean, the bell is also interactable. The Oceanview is usually a lot less spooky than this. It's very much lit like an area from Alan Wake. Man, I kind of had forgotten how much I like Control. It turns out Control's real good. The doors on this side are just numbered. This is the boring side. Well, I guess let's try it. Obviously, they wanted us to try this door. Alright, what do you think? Rule of 3? It's not really... Well, that's not how that's supposed to work. This whole thing's very unsettling. I mean, it's not going to open now, though, is it? Yeah, it's not... We didn't rule of 3 anything. That is not how things work here. I can't touch the bell again. Let me... There's no keys or anything back here. Oh. Oh, please. Oh, please let us see one. Aw. I thought they were going to give us a whole Night Springs. Where's that coming from? Ah. Jesse really just, like, pounds the button on everything, huh? No finesse at all. Well, that's not great. I feel like I'm maybe a little paranoid about the darkness. But it's gonna happen at some point, right?
Devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came, a resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Yeah, that resonance could be real bad news. I mean, they want us to... Hold on, let's see the full version of that, shall we?
Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC, brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
That's interesting. The abbreviated version I thought was implying that Hartman had gone nuts, near the lake and killed as many people in the town as possible. This is a very different piece of information than that. So I'm a little worried that we're locked in here, and by here I mean the Bureau, of course, the oldest house, with some kind of scary ghost Superman Dr. Hartman. And let's be honest, Dr. Hartman was horrifying enough when he was just a guy. Well, good news, the way is open for everyone who knows how to fly. Okay, so there's just a spike over there, that's not great. And a whole lot of nothing everywhere else. I mean, you know how it is in the fire break. Is this gonna open? Can I go in over the top, maybe? Is it? No. Well... that had some effect. I wasn't really expecting it to. Take this. I wonder if I can do enough damage for it to actually... Probably not. Do I see another entrance in the wall anywhere? I'm not going to be able to make it all the way over there, I don't think. Ah, yep, that's how you do that. There's nothing that I missed over here. Alright, well, I mean, it sure seems like this ought to be the way forward. Is there, it doesn't look like, maybe. I think that's just weird lighting. Yeah, I don't think there's actually a way in over there. I mean, we could go down to that bridge. Clearly, I mean, that's there to draw our attention. If I look at my map... nothing. This doesn't tell me shit. Except that, I guess, the bridge beyond there seems to connect to things. Okay. I don't know that we need to go down, but let's go ahead and just refresh our flight a little bit. Everything's fine. Nobody panic. Yeah, easy. Oh hey, it looks like the maintenance crew's been here. Gosh, I hope we get to see some Ahti. That would be perfect. That's...
damp and abandoned.
Like the rest of the place. Don't care for all that. But that would be it. That's what I want to see. Alan Wake and Ahti interacting. Well, there's actually nothing in here. I mean, they're going to give us a flashlight at some point, right? It's the Alan Wake DLC. There can't not be a flashlight. It's just a bunch of versions of the water fountain just kind of, you know, doing whatever it is that objects usually do in space. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go to the ladies' room. Excuse me. I just need to take a moment and really gather my thoughts here. Aha, I see. Oh no, it's just a newspaper. That's not a file. Who reads the newspaper anymore?
That
Okay,
doesn't look like a house shift. Do I even want to know?
It's definitely weird. Also, the camera is not really set up to deal with it. Yo, it is very dark. I'm assuming it's supposed to be. I don't want to mess with the gamma, because, you know, like, they're trying to do stuff with the darkness. What are you, and why can I not pick you? Oh, it's a mod, and I have 10,000 mods. You know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now. That is not the most critical thing at the moment. Maybe after this episode, I'll go through our inventory and clear up a bunch of space, so we don't have to worry about it on camera. Okay, that is a thing I'm familiar with. These dudes feel tough. Alright, let's swap it up here. Oh right, throwing stuff. Why shoot people when I can throw stuff at them? Did not see what it was that caused that explosion, but it's probably not great. Alright, welcome aboard. Well, it's not exactly terrifically challenging. I mean, you're going to have some balance problems, right? With like a DLC like this where you can't necessarily know exactly how much of the core game somebody's done, like how much grinding they did afterward. Alright, we definitely ran past some files. What is the deal with... Okay, we should take that with us, probably. Oh, hey, I remember this. I remember how this works. Wait, isn't this just the room over here? Didn't we already have access to this? Oh no, this space is blocked off from that side. I can't get through the... Get out of the way. Having a hell of a time getting through here. Okay, ability point received. Oh yeah, ability points, right. And that's a... whatever. Shield strength 40... Okay, hold on. 42% shield strength. Is that a thing I care about? I am not currently using a shield strength thing. I'm not going to worry about it. So I guess next time we're at a control point, I should probably check out what is up with our ability points. Emil Hartman, victim names, Wake, Allen, Anderson Tor, Anderson Odin, somebody that we're not allowed to know about, Lane Rudolph, Desolé Wendy, Emerson Thomas. Officer name, Dennis. Special Agent Remy Dennis. Kidnapping of altered individuals, sanctions against altered organizations, obstruction of Bureau investigation, and 6 counts of breaching the Ash Act. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. Offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers due to their senility and Wake, possibly deceased. Even the Bureau doesn't actually know what happened to him. Which, I guess, you know, makes a whole lot of us, actually. Boy, there sure are a lot of files just scattered around everywhere in here. Foot gossip! Hello, my feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. This isn't the dead letters area. This is internal interagency communication right here. So that's a curious thing to to find in this place, is my point.
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
What have we here? Seized reload efficiency. I mean, who cares? They're there to be distractions, not to deal damage. Can I pull this out of the way? I don't know if it's actually in the way, but nope, it's not. It was just there to provide pretext for the invisible wall. Well, then I guess through the service tunnel we go. That doesn't look great. Aim a powerful light source at the darkness to destroy it.
Darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with the
Oops,
dimension
that's not what I meant to do.
and sentient shadows. Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
I mean, it had to be, right? We all knew it was coming. Hey, you stay here and keep an eye on that. I want to see what's through this way. More lights, in case you lost your light. Fair enough. And my suspicion is, these lights probably regenerate if you are looking away. Alright, we're just going to take this with us. Yeah, it's definitely real Alan Wakey in here. They managed to maintain the particle effects. Somebody remembered to save the shader. Boy, that's just a real normal way for a person to look. Oh, good, and the mold, too. What do you think? Alright, just put this down right there. Trying to remember, how do we clear mold? I mean, it's not going to be safe to go in there, right? And this is not anything important, I'm assuming. Yeah, there's probably like an ability point or something in there. I'm not going to stress about it right now. We'll come back later if it makes sense to do so. Well, in most games, I would be very not pleased to be in a maintenance tunnel. However, here, I think there's an above-average chance that we will see Ahti, and so I'm looking forward to it. Subtitles ruining a thing that's supposed to be creepy. Also, there was just actually no audio there, so we got some subtitles that didn't exist, or at least shouldn't have existed. Abilities. Do we have any cool new abilities available? We could increase our shield strength even more. Energy will recover while the shield is active. That seems okay. Ground slam damage up. Hold and launch more objects and energy recovers while holding... Well, okay. Well, obviously. Who doesn't love to launch objects? More melee damage, more energy. I mean, we have 5 points. I guess we'll take some energy, too. And Astral Constructs. Surge fires adhesive munitions that detonate when manually triggered or if their timer expires. And this is made with the new materials. Yeah, let's try it. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the shotguns, so we can... how do I... I do not remember how this works. Okay, right click to carry additional objects. E launches all of them at once. G... Shatter, swap it out for Surge. We should probably upgrade this Surge, huh? What do we want to put on here? Ammo refund. Boy, I don't even know yet. Rate of fire? Rate of fire is always good. Okay. Okay, I get it. That seems fun. Some more lights. Again, in case you lost your light. Foolishly. Irresponsibly. Just carry around some extra stuff here, too. Just in case. You know. In case a control should break out. Oh, I think this is just the other side of that squished up area. Okay. The house didn't want us coming through here, but not like so much that it actually closed off all the entrances. Just made it a little inconvenient.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward fate.
He better not. Also, it actually really worries me that Wake said that worm through time thing. I think that has some implications that I'm not 100% clear on. Alright, before I forget, let's go ahead and look at the full version of that. I do love to listen to Wake just be a terrible idiot. Be just a horrible author.
The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both change what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're a new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these ways to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel. The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden.
There was nothing ordinary about Faden is just a beautiful line. I am concerned that maybe Alan never actually made it out. Just gonna keep our light and also all of our weapons right here by our side for a minute. Can I read while I'm carrying? No, I cannot. Okay, I can drop the items one by one with the use key. I'm going to put you down gently right here. Kirkland, so you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do? My job? You want to know what I call that? Bullshit. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more. And they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around our words, trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. If you think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. That piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me on suspension. See if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt. I don't think we've heard about Agent Hewitt before. Maybe worth keeping an eye out for, though. Oops, that was a little more violent than I meant it to be.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck, cooperate. Okay, there we go.
You know, I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've ever seen the phrase fiber optic fuck.
This time, or I swear to God, What? Hello? Who's there? Oh, shit. I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a... Where's my...
It is actually still turning. I'm not sure if it's done now. I thought it was done before. I mean, I know what this is. I've seen this problem before. That poor guy's got Slenderman. That's a real shame. Once you get him into a place, it's basically impossible to get him out. This whole thing's got me very nervous, if I'm being honest with you. So we really want to be on the other side of this door, huh? Yeah, that does look important. It also looks like there's not really a way around on our map here. Oh, what are these? Oh, this is a good sign. Assignments, of course. Auntie left me work to do. We did see a dead plant already.
Ah, more plants. Alright. Let's go make some new friends.
This doesn't feel like it's mission critical.
It's not good for you. Headache, nausea, cold, depression. How can you tell when you are afraid?
Is that all just finished cursing?
Darkness everywhere. New day, same old bloody city. The whole way. Like Hartman for nothing. Get rid of it.
Okay, well, we definitely saw a light already, or a plant already that looked pretty browned and destroyed. So we can probably do this side quest real fast. I mean, listen, if it'll make Ahti happy, I will step out of my way. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine, altered, and paranatural materials, was raided somewhere in the Czech Republic by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties, and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but that they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. There's a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the public. These criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. And finally, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Well, I mean, they must be aware of the item's paranatural powers in some way, right? Because that's like the whole... That's why they're buying them. It's a thing we will need more information about. NASA Cooperation Decision. Following the NASA-FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the something far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivering of Blackrock. From its medium Earth orbit, it will provide the Bureau with unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of this committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. I kinda can't believe that that would ever be in doubt. That seems so obviously the case. This whole thing is very creepy. This whole dark thing is just very creepy. Well, we're gonna veer off plan here and go light up some plants. But I think before we do that, what did I even pull? It's just a, it's just a bottle of something.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective, and hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
Well, that seems like a really good way to discourage people from doing their jobs. Alright, anyway, what I was about to say before I found that very interesting tape recorder was that probably this is where we ought to call it for now. So the intention with this series is that there will be another hour of gameplay every day until the deed is done. Based on the length of the last one, I'm guessing this is going to be like 5 episodes or so, and frankly, I'm very eager to be back in it. So, when you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to water the plants, and then probably do some actual plot stuff. Maybe. I guess it depends on how much Ati has to ask of us. And we'll see you then.